What is good, NIO family? It's Rey-Jay back with another video, and in this one, I'm going to be talking about the one and only NIO stock, what you should be looking out for the future. I'm also going to do some in-depth technical analysis and give you guys my price prediction for tomorrow based off what the chart is showing and based off what the data is suggesting. I'm also going to break down what the news is saying about NIO, what happened during the Netflix earnings report, and how that could affect the markets, what's going on with the FOMC meeting, and also what NIO put on their Twitter page, which is once again very bullish news for the long-term future. Now, before I break anything down about NIO, before I talk about what the share price may do for tomorrow, I do have to mention a couple of things before starting. Firstly, I'm not a financial planner. Don't take any of this as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please smash the like button if you want to see more videos like this. It not only benefits me, it benefits the entire NIO community as a whole. And the last things, if you guys can, please check out the Weeble link down below and in the description. If you sign up for Weeble, the link down below, and deposit any amount of money into the account, you're guaranteed 6 free stocks, each worth up to $3,500. And you could always sell these 6 free stocks for cash and use that cash to buy some NIO shares for free. This is a limited time offer. It ends in just 4 days, so please check it out before they run out. With that out of the way, let's get on with the video. So NIO is down about 3.07% for the day. I did anticipate a bit of a down day today. If you watched my previous video, I did think that this would be a big day because it would kind of show us the direction that NIO would be heading in for the near-term future. And we can see right here, it did not hold too well. We actually broke below that $20 range. I was talking about that move for quite a bit of time. We did get a bounce off that 19.53 level, but overall, this thing does look like it has more potential downside. Now, remember, guys, we have this gap down here at $19 and what is that, like 20 cents? 19 point something, I think 19.1 or something. It's 19.2, so around 19.2. NIO does have a gap down there, and typically when stocks have gaps, they don't bounce directly off the gaps. They usually bounce near the next key support zone. So NIO could get a bounce off 19 when the time comes, but as of right now, that's where I see this thing heading, to the 19 level. So I am a little bit bearish in terms of the price action. I think the market is going to play a big role in kind of causing that as well. And the news did actually show NIO make a big move, and that's it being down 6% at one point today. We actually finished down about 3.07% on the day. They were hit by concerns about additional capital needs, and there were other things like that, such as the moods kind of changing. Also, some recession fears. They did ease up, but Wall Street still has some good ambitions for NIO. So to me personally, it wasn't that bad. I don't necessarily see this as the worst thing in the world for NIO. I think they're doing fine fundamentally, and I just think they're going to keep improving. But from a fundamental standpoint, we are in earnings season, and there are different earnings that could affect them. Netflix actually came out to surprise us. They only lost about 970,000 subscribers, which I know is a lot, but the expectation was over 2 million. So they actually lost less than half of what Wall Street and big analysts would have expected, which is actually a good sign for the company. And when it comes to their actual earnings, I can actually find it. They did pretty well. Their earnings per share, they beat on earnings per share. Revenue was a little bit low. It was almost the same. So overall, they did pretty darn well. And they do have new ambitions coming out. I think they did want to test different subscription plans and things like that. Overall, they did pretty well. So Netflix is up. Let me see. They're up about almost 7% in the after hours. They were up at almost 6% today. So overall, Netflix is making a big move up, and it does have more potential to continue. That's a good sign for markets. Markets may be kind of flat tomorrow. Now, even though the market was kind of flat, kind of green today, we saw some nice moves from SPY, and a very nice move actually. It does have a gap down here, but actually pushed up. It formed another gap, but overall SPY just wanted to rally today. It is testing this key resistance level. It's in a very key zone. So looking at SPY, we did have that triple top. I'd like to see how the SPY kind of reacts from here. Some people are anticipating some downside if we get a rejection off the zone, or if we keep pushing up, it could actually fill the gap up here. We'll have to wait and see how that goes for tomorrow. But NIO's kind of diverted from SPY temporarily because overall the market tended to be green. NIO ended up being in the red, and that's due to external factors. Now, with that said, we can see that NIO is not holding 20 perfectly. In fact, we did spend quite a bit of time below that 20 range. You can see right here, we dropped about 19.53. We did actually spend a couple of hours below that, and that's actually very important to note. NIO is not necessarily holding 20 perfectly, and we happen to have this gap all the way down here. Let me show you where it is one more time. 19.2. It's looking to me like we're headed in that direction instead of just pushing all the way up. We still could have some flat days, some slightly green days, but overall we are respecting this downtrend. So going into tomorrow, I wouldn't be surprised if NIO pushes up a little bit, so maybe 20.8, maybe $21 flat, maybe like around there. We get a rejection off that, and then we continue to see the next leg down over the next few days. And then NIO could actually get closer to filling this gap right over here around that $19.2 level. So right now, predicting this from a day-to-day basis is very tricky, but I'll tell you one thing, and I do see kind of like where our destination is going to be within the next week. And I do think we're going to fill this gap down here. So I am a little bit more in favor of more bearish price action than bullish. So what should you really look out for? That is 20 hasn't been holding us. I've been talking about this for quite a bit of time, and we have this downtrend that's being respected. And I know the lines kind of change when I zoom into different time frames, so I apologize for that. But anyways, right now it's looking like we have a pattern on our hands. NIO dropped down here, right? We got to push up here. Then we dropped down a little lower. Then we pushed up. Then we dropped down lower. So to continue the trend, it does look like we could get a slight push up, followed by a rejection tomorrow around the 21 range, followed by even more downside. So NIO would continue to drop from there. And then going into the later days of the week, I wouldn't be surprised if we got closer to that gap fill and touched $19 flat. So to draw this out, this is kind of like what the trend is showing. Let me actually show it to you in a lot of detail. I apologize if there's background noise. I don't know what that is. But anyways, looking at NIO, watch for a move like this. We might get a push into open. We might actually touch $21 flat. After touching 21, we might get a rejection. Trade kind of sideways. We could actually close a little green, but it's also possible for us to be a little flat. We might continue to see downside in the later days to come. We might continue to drop just like this. That's that 19.5 level. Get a bounce off that and maybe close just a little bit in the red again. So that's essentially what I'm predicting. This is what I think NIO may end up doing. I'm still very bullish for its long term. I just want to note that. As for the market, we have the FOMC meeting coming up on the 27th of July. And right now, the market hasn't fully priced in a 100 basis point rate hike. So that could lead to some more bearish price action for next week for the market. So most likely will, especially for NIO too. Just want you guys to be prepared for that. The last thing I want to talk about is this right here. NIO put on their Twitter page as the second generation high efficiency eDrive platform, the all new NIO ES7 debuts the NIO digital system for evolving smart technology, which includes smart hardware, computing platforms, operating systems, smart algorithms, and smart applications. So amazing. Their new vehicles that are coming out, their new SUVs are just fantastic. I can't wait to see what the future holds for them because NIO is the future. It has smart electric autonomous vehicles, and I do anticipate amazing days to come for the company. So short term, I'm a little bit bearish. I do think NIO is going to drop a little bit. I do think the overall market might drop a little bit next week as well. But for the long term, I'm still insanely bullish. I think NIO is going to soar to heights people would not expect. I think the company has a very, very bright future. With that said and done, thank you for listening. This is essentially what I'm predicting. I want you guys to at least be prepared to see NIO get a rejection, maybe around that 21 or so level. And then after that, I do anticipate a big drop following into that 19 gap fill. It's the uncomfortable truth, but that's what the chart is showing us. With that said and done, thank you for listening. Have a great rest of the day, and I'll see you guys in the next one. NIO to the moon, and peace out.